beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach living a whole food, plant-exclusive, SOFAs-free, gluten-free lifestyle. And it literally gave me my life back, and I know it can help you with yours too. And today, I am so thrilled to be here with Maya Susi, the founder of W8Fit. Maya created this line of beautifully designed wearable weights, like this beautiful belt and wrist weights and the vest that I have on, and you may have possibly seen me recently using it and raving about it in my most recent videos. I also just did a review, so you can check that out on my YouTube channel if you haven't already. These products are not only effective, but thoughtfully created for real life movement and strength and vitality for everyone. So today's live session, we're going to be talking about how W8Fit came to be, what inspired Maya's mission, and why weighted resistance can be such a powerful part of wellness, recovery, and aging well. So we're going to also explore how movement and strength play a role in overall health. And of course, you'll hear about my own experience using these products as part of my healing journey. So I want to welcome everyone, and I want to say hi, Maya. Welcome.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm so excited to be here and can't wait to share, all my knowledge and answer all the questions. And I'm just so excited to be here and be a part of this. And thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, let's get rolling.
This is so great. Well, thank you again. And if you are in the chat, if you're watching, please feel free at any time. Go ahead and put in any comments, any questions, and we will be checking the chat regularly to answer any questions that might come up, or even if you just want to share a comment. So Maya, let's start with you and a little bit about your background. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and also what inspired you to create W8Fit?
Yes, absolutely. So I am 42, a mother of three. I have a 6, an 8, and a 10-year-old that keep me very active. And basically, I've been in fitness and fashion kind of all of my life. Starting from freshman year of college, I was looking to get healthy and, kind of start my career. And the only thing that was open was a position in teaching fitness classes. I was like, oh, I want to be a personal trainer. Let's go. Let's start all that. So because that was the only class that was open, I ended up taking that, and it ended up being the absolute, best choice I've ever made in life. College was great too. I learned a lot there, but it was the whole fitness side that kind of brought me forward. So after, I've been teaching for over 25 years in kind of every realm that you can, from Pilates to cardio kickboxing to strength training, Les Mills, step aerobics, always my favorite. And training a little bit on the side, but I'm more of an instructor, and not so much as like a one-on-one trainer. I like the big group, the energy, the feeling. So then kind of fast forward a few years, and I was finishing my master's. Oh, okay. Then I was a fashion coordinator for a company where I gave art direction to photography, picked out models, picked out the outfits. So it was like my whole undergrad was business and fashion. I thought I was going to be a designer. Ironically, ended up being a somewhat designer, right? More of like a fitness apparel, fitness accessory designer. But it was the mix of like the two worlds of the whole fashion background and then being in fitness this whole time that set forward this motion. So back to kind of where this company started, I was finishing my master's in education. I thought I wanted to add that to the mix. And while I was doing it, I was babysitting for a woman who was a lawyer, but she also had a line of calendar necklaces where it was like an innovative, basically an innovative thing where you put the little rhinestone on the month of whose ever birthday. So it was really cool that she had both of these, a business on her side, and she was also a lawyer. And I was like, I always wanted to like do a line of clothes that had weights in it because I'm always holding the weights while I'm teaching. Like I'd be teaching an ab class and I'm like, all right, hold, the little weights over your head. And I'm like, God, I wish it was just on me, right? Like instead, while I was teaching, because I'm always like grabbing this thing and that thing while we're transitioning from workout to workout. So then I was like, God, I want to create this line of workout clothes that have pockets for weights. So that's what
Oh.
it initially started with. It was a whole line of clothes. So it was like a tank top with a weight in the back, and then a pair of like Lululemon inspired pants where the waistband these were the same weights. So the weights are the original weights from the absolute beginning. Yep, these little guys, the half pound and the fifth of a pound. And they basically went into the waistband, and then I had the little wrist cuffs, and then you put it also into the ankles of the pants. So you can only do so much. It was just a little bit of weight. It was like an extra 2 pounds in the waist, an extra 1 pound in the ankle, but it was really hard to compete with all of the the everybody else that's in the fashion industry, especially fitness, which started booming and growing at that time. That was about 2011. So then I realized that what everybody wanted was like the accessories version of it. They all wanted the wrist cuffs. They all wanted like something on your waist, but not the pants. So therefore, I basically just took all the accessories version of it, but I wanted to keep it fashion forward like it was clothing. So then created the whole line, and it turned into a belt and wrist cuffs. And then I added ankle weights. And then from the belts, everyone asked, can I stack the belts? Can I put two? I want it heavier. I want more, but we love the belts. So I was like, okay, I need to come up with two belts stacked, but still on you. So therefore the vest. So basically all of this is just extra fabric holding on to two belts around your waist.
Oh, that is super cool. I love your story. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I
Yeah.
have done a video on Maya's weighted belt and wrist weights. We both have them on, and if you're not familiar, the belt it's a really nice belt, and it wraps, around, like she said. And what I also like is that you can add more weights. The flexibility of having the removable weights, I think is amazing.
You could fit two in a
Okay.
pocket too. So you can make your 7 pound belt a 14 pound belt. It's just the whole concept is to make it a very thin line of accessories, but you can always bulk it up if you really
Yeah.
want.
And so that is so unique, and really a cool story about how you started with clothing that you could put the weights in the pocket. So, but then you have to, well, first of all, I have two things that come to mind. You have to remember to take them out because you probably don't want to put them in the washing machine.
Right, right.
And then also, I think, okay, would it pull your pants down?
It actually, because if you think of like a Lululemon waistband, they're kind of like thicker and they're secure. Well, now things have changed a little bit. They're a little more softer in terms of materials. But at first, it was like almost like a harder, stronger material. So it held in place.
Wow, that is so cool.
But again, it was only four weights. It was 2 pounds. So it wasn't like a lot of weight, but it made the littlest of a
Yeah.
difference.
So
Yeah.
your very first product was it going in the clothing, but then when you decided to branch out, did you have a one product that was like your very first product that wasn't putting it in the pants? And if so, what was that?
Well, the wrist
Oh,
cuffs were originally a sleeve that you put on, and the first one only had two weights. It had one little guy on the top, one little guy on the bottom, and you kind of like wrapped it over to secure it. But it was like the sleeve of a shirt, like
wow.
the same thin material with the two little weights. But then as you added weights to it, you needed a neoprene, a better material to kind of hold, but you still wanted the concept the same, like a very thin product that looks and feels like an accessory and not a bulky add-on
I
wrist
love
weight.
it. I love it. So with some of these newer pieces that you have, how did you decide on the design for each piece that you developed? Was it based on what feedback, or was it something that you felt,
Mhm.
or what was it?
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. So a lot of experience, a lot of feedback, but every time I create a new product, I order the bare minimum of that product where I think at that point it's perfect, right? Like I've tested it, I've tried it, friends have tried it. And then of course, like feedback comes back, right? Like this would be a nice change and this tiny little thing. And even I'm kind of a perfectionist, so even like the stitching, like I'm like, we need a thicker thread on the stitching. You have to double stitch this part. Like this, the material has changed at I think about 4 or 5 times on the wrist cuffs and the ankle weights. Even the thickness of the neoprene, we
Right.
played with it being thicker. We played with it with being thinner. The Velcro, gosh, they have some serious technology now with the Velcro. It used to be the old school tears at everything, right? The big bushy soft Velcro. Now they have all these amazing, really thin that barely look like Velcro options. Um, so it's been really cool just to add everything, anything that's innovative and anything that's new. Um, I'll change it up. And then also competitor testing. I buy all the competitor stuff too. Like, what are they doing that works? Let's change the tiny
Mm.
little thing that we can on our design to always improve it. So it's always, I think there's been about 6 or 7 versions of the belt. It's yeah, it's changed a lot over the years, ever since the
I just,
beginning.
yeah,
And then
I
yeah,
I love all your products, and I feel very privileged to have been able to, try them and be aware of them. And that's why I thought it was so important to bring it here on the channel and be able to have you share, because you really care, obviously, about the product and making a product that is really, it's like so useful, but it's comfortable and it fits and there's flexibility in
absolutely.
it. And so I think that that's something to be really proud of. And I just appreciate
Well,
your
thank
business
you.
ethics. Yeah. So I know you shared like how your stories, but did you always envision this becoming like a brand, or, was this just going to be like a small project? I mean, it sounds like from the beginning, you just had a vision, but it's really grown, I believe. And so like, was that your,
Yes.
how has your vision changed since original?
Um, I guess I've realized how much of a need there is for products like this in the market. And at first, it was just like a fun design project. Like I thought I was going to be a teacher. Like for it, how kind of everything changed is like, so once I like started launching the business, I got, the Today Show was calling, Under Armour was calling, Shark Tank
Mhm.
was calling. They were all so excited about the innovation of the products that I was like, wow, I think I might have something here. And then it just continued to grow and improve. And now it's kind of like this incredible, I hear all these stories of people being like, I lost so much weight just wearing the belt, walking around, so excited for the new products. Tremors. Oh my God, the amount of people that are thanking me for the wrist cuffs for the tremors, because you could take out as many weights as you need. Even a fifth of a pound or two of those is all they need to steady their hands. And in everyday life, they're thin enough that they're just so like appreciative. And I mean, it's pretty cool. Also, oh, like mermaids are wearing it
Oh my gosh.
to keep them
Yeah.
down in the
Oh, that's
water.
awesome. Now, I would like to pause here for a minute, and because when for me, I began my healing journey, and then weighted vests became part of helping me with osteoporosis. But you're mentioning
Yes.
about trimmers. Can you give us a little bit, like, if someone is watching and they're like, either I don't know what that is, or oh my gosh, what does this have to do with that? Can you like explain a little bit more about what it is and why your product would be beneficial for that issue that someone might have?
Yes. Well, as you age, I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Osteoporosis, of course, all your bone strength, your bone density starts to decrease as you get older. And basically, what you want to do is, I mean, weight training is the best thing for bone density, for strengthening the muscles around the bones. And wearing weights for someone who has tremors, which is basically they have shakes. So you're trying to cook, you're trying to write something, and the weight grounds your body. it grounds your muscles, and it helps you to be able to function in everyday
Wow.
activities. So that's
Yeah, I was just going to say, is there any particular diagnosis that is common that you have heard of where people have a tremor? And how did you stumble upon this helping with that?
people buying it and reaching out.
Feedback.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know at first because I wasn't really aware of anybody who had tremors, and it wasn't in my life. But the amount of people emailing me just to say thank you for creating this product, it really helps a lot with tremors. And you should go talk to my occupational therapist. And please make sure everybody kind of knows that this is a solution to a problem that is real. I didn't realize how major it was. I mean, as being in this industry and in this business, you start to realize how much is out there in terms of osteoporosis and tremors and and grounding and anxiety. I didn't realize the vest grounds you, but from like medical professionals, they all say the same thing, that it calms you down, it grounds you, it's great for every
You know,
all of that.
I have heard, see, I didn't think of it that way, but now I'm thinking like, okay, we have a dog, Remy, and for anyone who has animals, I know that they sell for animals vests for
Like
yes,
weighted
and it
vests.
keeps them like around loud noise holidays like 4th of July if you're here in the United States, or when there's loud noises or thunderstorms and stuff like that, that it helps calm them. I never thought that that could be effective for humans and people, or even people that have, autism or other kinds of things. That
Yep.
is so incredible. Thank you for bringing that up, because, there's so many people that are unaware, and then it just makes you realize like there's so many other benefits to all of your products. And I love that people reach out. And I just want to take a second to look in the chat. Lisa's in the chat. Good afternoon. She's saying hello. And I know yeah,
Hi,
we
Lisa.
do have a handful of people live. So, of course, if anyone has any experience with this, any questions, we are here to answer questions. And we're so glad to have you here. And it's fine if you don't, but just know that it's fine to ask a question. So I would like to ask you. Well, first of all, can you walk us through each of the products in the W8Fit line, and what they
Mhm.
are designed for? Like you already shared, different things about the wrist weights and about the vest. But is there anything else you can add? Because I know you have some other products, this being one, and I think ankle weights as well.
Yes. Well, should I finish up kind of like all of the
Oh,
features of the
yes, I'm
vest first? We'll
sorry.
kind of start from
Absolutely.
the top
Yes.
down. Oh no, no, that's great. So this vest was actually designed to be, it's core weighted. Like I said, it's the two belts
So,
stacked together, and
so
with
I
the
don't know that we spoke a little bit before we got on, and I don't believe we did that live. So can you explain what you just said about the core, what you just said?
yes, yeah. So okay. Oh, we did. We talked about
Just
that before.
briefly, because I'm like,
So
wait, let's do it live.
yes, yes. So basically, there is two lines. It mimics two belts kind of stacked together with a couple extra weights on the back. So there's one line here, a second belt there, and then a third line in the back. And in the front, there's two lines. So it's basically like two belts. Like it would look like that. If you kind of put the two belts together, it would be the two belts stacked on top of each other with a couple extra on the back to help your posture upright. But the coolest thing is you're supposed to, when you strap it on, so I like to keep it like this because it's really easy to
I
kind of take
just
it
figured
on and
that
off,
out and
right?
showed my husband that before we got on. I'm like, look, I think I would do it this way because it keeps it from undoing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I always like restrap them where it's right by the zipper so that you can put it on like a vest. I know I every time, this is one of those products that takes a little bit of learning curve because you open it out of the box, there's a strap here, a strap there, you're trying to figure out how to put it on comfortably. But even right now, just taking the straps off, like I could feel the shoulder pressure. This is what a regular weighted vest looks like, right? You put it on, it's kind of like loose a little bit and it holds you down. So this is already pulling on my neck. So that was the major problem of all the weighted vests. And then that's why they would come to buy the belt. And then they would ask for more weights for the belt. So then I created this vest. But the coolest thing is once you zip it on, and if you snug it in, so right now it's kind of loose. But if you go nice and tight on it, and again, this is an elastic material on the outside, a neoprene middle, and a moisture wicking inside. So it does stretch the whole back. There's no straps there for the ability for it to mold around your body. So the weights like move a little bit, the material moves, but it also is it holds its tension. So it'll go right back to what it looked like before you kind of stretched it out. So then as everything is strapped onto you, you shouldn't have any pressure whatsoever on the shoulders. The coolest thing is you could take it off and you could still do your walk, you could still do your exercises, and it stays on secure. So that was the problem I was trying to solve with the weighted vest, is how to get a weighted vest without, that's a little tougher than it looks. How to get a weighted vest without the shoulder pressure. So the padded shoulders are basically here just for the adjustment and the fit, but they're not necessary whatsoever. They can be cut off and
That's
you'd be
amazing.
fine.
So as you're talking, I'm taking this and I'm kind of pulling it and I'm seeing, and yes, it gives, which is really interesting because remember, we have these solid pieces of weights in there and it
Yep.
stretches around it. And I really do love that. Of course, I did learn, like, for me, because I have a smaller waist, that I want to tighten it even more than this allows.
Yes.
And so you were starting to tell me that you might have some
Yeah.
ideas for that. If somebody wanted this and they have like a tiny waist, it's like,
yeah. So to make this vest kind of like a one size fits all, it has to have kind of a longer strap, which is why it has the double feature, right? Because you could go as like really, really wide. If you go all the way to the edge, this vest will give a lot for a person that's a little bit larger. But then as you go smaller, you're right, I even do this too. It goes like right to the edge and you cross over. So in the future, I'm thinking about adding a couple extra lines of stitching so that you could cut off the pieces for people that are a lot more petite and smaller. You could just cut off the extra and then we could put the the logo somewhere over here instead. But then that way anyone who's a little bit larger can keep it in their fit, but anyone who's really petite, just cut off the extra and you're good. For now, even I do this because I have a little bit of a flap, so if I'm walking, it'll hit it, but I just kind of fold it over and then problem solved. Because it is a big line of
so if
Velcro.
you go sideways, could you go sideways so people, okay, so it just bunches that little piece there, and that works. And okay, I think that's really great. There was a little glitch for a second in there, and you were basically showing how it can be wider if somebody needs that space. So it is adjustable for so many different sizes of people. Now, the woman's vest, I understand, holds originally, it's a 15-pound, right? We've got the box right here, and it says right here, 15 pounds. And I know that you can.
It comes fully loaded with 15 pounds. So they're half-pound weights, and actually, when you measured it, it was 0.502. So they're a little bit over a half-pound each weight. So it's probably a little bit more than 15. And then the vest itself is about a pound. And so so you have 28 pockets, which equivalent to the 14 pounds plus the pound of the vest.
And that's kind of, that was one of my questions, is how much does the vest weigh empty? So you just said it's about a pound. And when I first started wearing a weighted vest, My doctor actually recommended that I start with 5 pounds, and it was way too much for me. I could feel that my body wasn't ready. And so then we backed it off to just the vest. And it didn't feel like I had anything, but it was able to allow me to move up in slow increments. So thank you for sharing the weight. Now, I know that you also have a men's line. Do you want to talk a little bit about the difference and just share about the men's line? Or the best?
Yeah, so basically all the products are designed for women and men, right? They're equally the same for either. But the men's, the only difference for them is they have weights over the chest, which I removed for the women because of the chest area. And then you have 2 pockets here. So that kind of, that's another additional bonus with the reflector strips. Oh, did you
No,
know the pockets?
I have pockets here. Oh my gosh, I love having pockets here. Oh my gosh.
So like your keys, throw them in as you're walking.
I want to see if my phone will. Well, now I have to move this. It's on both sides. Not that I'm advocating for wearing your phone on there, but it's a pretty big pocket here.
Me too. I was gonna say
you can put credit cards or an individual key or money. Do you know what? Oh my gosh, thank you. I didn't even notice that. I was saying to my husband, like, I need a little something somewhere. It was here the whole time.
Well, what's funny is, so they're designed from the same material that like my Lululemon pants mesh is, so that it doesn't look, so it just matches the vest and you can't even tell that it's there. It doesn't look like a pocket, it's secret. It's like a hidden.
I have been really inspecting this thing and I didn't know that, and I didn't find that written anywhere, although maybe I missed it. But I love it because
it says hidden pockets on the thing, but it's okay. All my everybody around me is like, God, I wish this thing had pockets. I'm like, it does. And they're like, oh my God, I was running and holding all my stuff and now I can
oh my gosh, I just got more excited. And you're right, it does say hidden pockets, and I overlooked that. Oh my gosh. So, okay, when you're not using the pockets though, the way the design is, it just fits beautifully. So I love it. And so you were saying that, I got so excited.
Oh, the men's. Okay. So the men's has, so the men's has 4 additional pockets on the chest. So if you kind of go over it, the women's, you have your weights here, and then this is empty here. But for men, they have the additional pockets here. And then the weights actually come separate in the packaging, because in order to fold it kind of like the right way, that those top weights didn't fold very well in like the box. So the 4 weights are separated and they're outside, but it's basically fully loaded without the 4 front weights. So it's fully loaded with 16 pounds and then has 4 weights that kind of come in the package that the person who's getting it would have to fill into the pockets.
So 15 pounds to start for women's, and is that 18 pounds for men?
And 18. Oh, and then 2, where is it? Okay. And then right here and right here, it's cut a little bit more narrow for the women and you can't really fit a weight in there, but the men's you can. So they have the extra 1 pound in the back, the extra 2 pounds in the front. So that gets
and
you
is
3
this
pounds.
the same weight in the men's as well?
Yep, the weights are the absolute same for the vest and the belt, and then the little guys go in the ankle weights and the wrist cuffs. So all of the products are designed basically as we come out with new products, and we do have some more exciting things that are coming down the pipeline, more of a clothing piece with weights that stemmed from the original design. But we do have a lot of exciting things. But the best part is your weights, once you have them, they're good for everything. You could switch out accessories. You can email me and buy just the products without the weights so that you could use what you already have.
Oh, I like that. And I also know that if you wanted, I saw on your site that you can also buy additional weights. Let's say if you want to stack them, because you can stack them too, right? If somebody's like, okay, I mastered the 15 pounds or whatever, and I'd like to start, you can do that. Very, very cool. Oh my gosh. So this design is so sleek and elevated, right? And I love that you were inspired, with the aesthetics of it based on clothing, because it feels good. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly. It's a mix of fitness
Yeah, I
and
love
fashion.
it. So, how important was versatility when creating the items like the wrist weights and belt? Because I know that you continue to grow, but was that something that was important from the beginning, or is that just something that's evolved based on what people have brought to your attention on what works for them?
Versatility in terms of how much weight in each product
Yes,
or how you use it.
either.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, so basically the goal was to for every product to be sleek and fit, like a wristband and like a belt with the smallest amount of material you can, right? So everything was designed so that it's sleek. So it's basically however many weights I could get in for that design to
Uh,
happen. So that was the concept of how much weight is in each product. So like even between the small wrist cuff, the medium wrist cuff, and the large wrist cuff, the only difference is they have one additional pocket for each size up, right? So it's like an extra inch on each. Yep. So as you grow in size, you get more pockets because it becomes longer. So like our belt, the extra small has 12 pockets, and then the extra large has 20 pockets. So it's just a lot of a longer belt, and then the extra small is smaller. So if you want to achieve, the 10-pound extra large belt, you would just double up a couple of the pockets in the extra small, and you would
I
have your 10
love it.
pounds.
Wow. 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 So I know I shared with you, the reason that I started with the weighted vest was to help me reverse my osteoporosis diagnosis. I want to get it back into osteopenia. And so many
Yeah,
people, like women especially, deal with bone loss and loss of strength, especially during like, older years, perimenopause or postmenopause.
perimenopause,
Yeah, and
menopause. Yeah.
so I mean, is there anything that you could share about that? I mean, I know that it's really important for people when this is new to them to really check with their doctor and make sure it's
Yes.
safe for them. Anything that you would want to say
Yeah.
about that, or that you coach people on before they just go
Oh
crazy?
gosh. Yes, absolutely. So the number one recommendation is first go to your doctor. Let them know, anytime you start any sort of exercise regimen, routine, change in diet, I mean, check with your doctor. They're going to give you the best advice. Um, but on a, completely grand scheme of things, most doctors recommend 10% of your body weight for a majority of people. That doesn't actually segregate into which age group. It's just for most people, 10% of your body weight is where you can hopefully start with wearing weighted products, right? So a 15-pound vest would be perfect for someone who's 150 pounds. But then that of course changes based on what conditions you're dealing with: perimenopause, menopause, osteoporosis, osteopenia. But um, you also have to listen to your body. Like you could put it on and be like, oh God, this is like way too much. And then take out a couple weights, be like, okay, now I can kind of start with that. So that was huge for creating a product that could be adjustable. That was huge. Not only adjustable in size, but also in weights and increments. So it's definitely I always say just listen to your body, because you're gonna try it. You're gonna be like, this doesn't feel right. Try it again. Take a little bit of weight off. It's like you said, try just the vest alone. Try the extra pound.
Yes.
And then the cool thing is you can grow from there. So you've done it for a few weeks. The most important thing is getting your steps in. There's like, okay, so there's a few things I swear by. Number one is my lemon cleanse in the morning. So every single morning, the second I wake up, my husband does half a lemon squeezed into a warm glass of water, and there's the first thing I do, and I chug the water. Okay, so that cleanses your body, that starts you off. It's better than coffee. It's it's pretty amazing. So that's like my number one secret. I tell everyone. Some people listen, some people don't, but that and clearer skin. I mean, once you do it for like couple months, couple weeks, couple years, you'll see a difference in everything: your mood, your energy, your skin, just from basically free lemon water, right? So that is like the number one free tip. Number two, weight training, muscle conditioning, strength training. So lift as heavy as you can. If you can lift those two bags that are 20 pounds each, rocking the groceries, yes, you can lift 20-pound weights in the in the gym as well. So some people think, oh no, I can't go that high, but then they're doing it all day long. It's functional training. You're doing things, you're lifting things. So why not train for the function of your life? So the second one is weight training. And then the third one is, of course, get enough sleep, because your body can't recover. Your cortisol levels are up, your stress is out. So get the lemon cleanse, get your strength training, get your sleep. Oh, four, and steps. Oh my God, get your steps in. At least the minimum, bare minimum, 5,000 steps a day. And, there's really easy ways to do it. If you have a pet, like I keep this right next to the front door. So anytime my little golden doodle needs to go out, strap the vest on, let's go. There's no reason why I shouldn't be weight training while I'm taking a walk, because I'm already doing it. And another really good one is taking a walk after dinner or after big meals, because that's going to help you metabolize everything. Because most people just kind of like eat their dinner and go sit, and it's a lot harder for your body to digest everything. But if you take a walk after, it'll help
Yes.
you a
So,
lot.
okay, I can check all four of those boxes.
I got a lot more, but
I,
those are the big
yeah, I
ones.
really do. And I also really love doing the lemon water in the morning. So if somebody was just starting out, maybe they're just going to be, they want to incorporate either the belt or even just the wrist weights on a walking
Yep.
routine. Share how they could do that if this is new to you. I mean, because there are a lot of people that walk with their hands in their pockets, and when you have this on,
Mm-hmm.
you want
You
to, I
can't.
mean, I like to strut, and I also with the vest anyways, I also pay close attention
Right.
to my posture. But if somebody was just
Yes.
starting, what could you say if they just wanted to either start with the belt or the wrist weights, in how they make sure that the walking routine is correct, or whatever you would.
So that's a really good question, actually. These products are designed in a 360 distribution. So they are completely all around with weights. So there's not like one weight off to this side, one weight off, like some products are heavy in one area and not heavy in another. So this is especially the weighted belt. The weighted belt is like a 360 distribution. So you basically have, you know, your body thinks all of a sudden, wow, I have an extra 10 pounds on me while I'm walking. I'm not sure how this happened, but I better increase my muscles and bone density to support this extra weight. So you're tricking your body, you're tricking your mind into building its muscle and bone density so that it can effectively functionally train with the extra weight. So it's kind of like a little trickery, of the game, but because of the 360 distribution, you could just put the products on. Your body is just going to do its natural walking motion. And the belt is just like the vest, where it kind of engages in your core and forces you realize something's
Mhm.
there at the beginning. So as you walk, you kind of walk upright and in a little bit better of form and posture, just because it's on you. But then like 2 minutes after, you completely forget you're
Yeah,
wearing it.
I felt like, wow, when I would just have the weighted belt on.
The
Yeah, I
belt,
was
yep,
like feeling that it felt really good. And that's something else where some people, that's why it's important to ask your doctor. Some people, it's not recommended for them to wear a vest, and that's why a belt is so amazing if it's safe for you. And
yep,
with osteoporosis, part of, I try to, like, not constantly do it, but kind of stomp as I'm walking a little bit, or have the ankle weights or different things that kind of give an impact. And I feel like the belt
yep,
really kind of is like this little bit of, it does that. So I think that's really
yep.
cool. Now, are there any best practices for starting where with the wearable weights, like to do it safely? Like I had mentioned, I like to make sure that I'm not rounding, because I think I've learned that that actually can harm. But is there any other
Yes.
safety practices that you would say for someone that's new to this, that did get approval from their doctor?
Okay, okay. That's a great idea. I mean, basically just proper form and walking. You're going to have your natural form, but if you kind of take a second and you take your shoulders back, chest is up, your core is engaged, and then you start all of the basic motions of going forward and back. But I mean, to be honest, once you're walking, you kind of, you just walk, you just do whatever's best for you. But actually, these products, without you knowing, will use your core engagement and help you with proper posture and function. So you just got to put it
Just
on and
put it on
go.
and
You just
go.
got to
I
get
love
it,
that.
put it on, and start
I
walking.
love that. And
Yep.
I just want to take a second and look in the chat. Plant Powered Peddler Janet's here. Hi, welcome. Jill Caperton is
Hi.
here. She says, hi, Jennifer and Todd. Better late than never. Always. Welcome to have you. And Lisa says, this vest looks much nicer than the one that I have. Very sleek. Well, thank you. And it is. So if you're looking for a new vest, this is one to definitely consider, I would say.
Just to give you like a visual of how sleek it is. Let's see. That's how it is. It's basically as wide as the tiny little weight that's inside. So if you go to the side, it's like two credit cards stacked together. Like my tiny little bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind
I
of how
love
big
it.
it is.
Yeah, that's a really great
Yeah.
visual. And I love that. I love that. And of course, we're going to have a link in the description. And so you'll be able to look at the products. And Maya is offering a very generous 10% off, not just one product, but your entire order. And so you can use the coupon code Diamond15. And I want to thank you for that. And we'll mention that again later. So, I love how strength makes me feel because when I was at my lowest, holding a pen was very difficult for me, and now I feel like it keeps my independence and great quality of life because I can do so much for myself. I can, like you were saying, I can lift stuff on the airplane and put my overhead bag in.
Right.
And it's all because of strength and really working the bones. And that's why I think this product and all the products that you have on your line are great and such a wonderful thing to bring into your already whatever kind of workout routine you're doing.
Right. It's just a supplement. You're already doing it. Why not just add some extra weights to it?
Yeah. So I got to ask you, have any stories from your users really stuck with you or changed the way that you see your work? I know you shared about people with tremors and health, problems. I'm just wondering if there's any other ones that you might want to share, and it's fine if there aren't.
Oh no, there are. There's a lot of weight loss ones where I will get a repeat order of somebody that ordered like a 9-pound belt, and now they're all excited. They're like, guess what? I just bought the 8-pound belt. You know why? Because I have to cinch it tighter because I lost weight, using the belt every day. I see, what's surprising is how men have reacted to this vest. I originally everything was kind of like it started off as a women's based company, right? With clothes that were designed for women. But once you take that off and you just have the accessory function, it's great for everybody. So I have, a really good example of a neighbor who got the vest, was so excited. He's like, all right, now I have a promise to myself. I'm going to go for like a 30-minute walk twice a day, every single day, and just kind of see what happens. And we're like, oh, and also skip, the soda. Stop those. Go for your walks and just see what happens after a month. And he's already lost 20 pounds just by walking twice a day with a weighted vest and cutting out the sugary
That's
sodas.
awesome.
So, it's just, I only hear a few of them because most people that order kind of do it themselves. Another like huge compliment is the word of mouth. I heard it from my friend. I heard it from my mom. I can't wait to get it because she raves about it. So it's really exciting just to see that, something I created is helping all of these people. If you find it, I only started advertising about a year ago, so it was always just kind of this slow business that I had the website, I have Amazon, and it came in as you found it or word of mouth. But now that we started advertising, it's definitely grown a lot, and we're excited to see where this company can go and add more products and continue innovating. And I think I said it before, but every single time I do a round of production, I change the littlest things, from a different stitch to the different materials to a more luxury Velcro. So every piece of this vest was designed with that in mind. It started with kind of like a sketch, right? Where my manufacturer made a sample. And then it took 4 years to get just this first round out the door, because it was always like, no, I need a quarter of an inch taken off the shoulders, that nothing could be touching while you're, moving your arms. I need a higher quality Velcro. Show me all the options. Whatever the best one is, let's get it on this
I love
vest.
it.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And it's always, the manufacturer's like, I don't think we can make this. This is too hard. Like, yes, you can get
Yes,
it
you can
done.
be creative. I love that. I love that you push the envelope because you want to stand behind a product you believe in, and that is really beneficial. We haven't really talked much about these, right?
The reflective
And
strips.
I don't
Yep.
see
Yep.
that on very many. I don't think I've seen them on any that I'm aware of. I mean, there may be some, but so tell me about why you decided to put these on, and how they would be beneficial. And it's the logo too, right?
Yep. Yep. And the logo too. So yeah, so the 8 is that's why it's like a silver. That's actually that's part of the logo, right? So the reflector, because people that go walking early in the morning, or people that go walking late at night. I mean, in the winter, like, it's dark at 4 o'clock. So so yeah, especially you're crossing the street, reflectors will keep
It's
you safe.
awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. So, a quick question that I meant to ask you earlier is, you and I have been talking via, the internet, but this is the first time that we're meeting in person. And I'd love to hear
Yeah.
how you found me. Do
Oh
you remember?
gosh.
It's been a while.
I think I was on doing a little bit of market research and just finding other people who have reviewed weighted
Oh,
vests. And then I think I found one of your like weighted vest reviews, and then I watched a couple of your videos and I got super excited, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got to send her some." Like, cuz at that point I didn't have the weighted vest, but I had the belt. And it was so, you would talk about all of the benefits, and I was like, oh wait, she's got to try the weighted belt. She probably doesn't even know it exists yet, right? So yeah, no, I just at some point, I think I was doing a little bit of
absolutely.
research and I found you and I got excited and I dove deeper and saw a couple of your videos, and then I was like, oh yeah, definitely got to call
Oh,
Jennifer.
well, I am so glad. Thank you for sharing that. And I am so super glad that you did that deep dive in research, because I love the relationship and the products. I really, can't say enough things about your work. So I'm wondering, do you have any new products or innovations that are in the works, or ideas that you can share with us?
I mean, it's kind of supposed to be a
Okay.
secret, but it's in the design process. But I'm actually coming out with a weighted bra, and it is the little tiny weights are all underneath. So it's basically like a belt kind of attached to your bra, except it's going to be for people that want a little less resistance and not so much of a weighted vest kind of feel. So it's like imagine a Lululemon nice sports bra with like a zipper in the front, and then a row of the tiny fifth of a pound weights that go in a 360. And it's actually going to be a completely different material. So it's going to be kind of the Lululemon inspired material. So because of the weights are thinner, that it's going to be just like a sports bra with some pockets, and you put weights in it. And, testing it out, it's been amazing for plank work. Again, anyone who doesn't want the weighted vest, the weighted bra it goes up to 5 pounds. So it has like a limit, but for anybody who only wants that,
Oh
it's
my
going to be pretty
gosh.
incredible, because you can't even
Okay,
feel
and
it.
so we do have a question. Before we ask the question, I just want to ask you just about this coming up
Sure.
piece that you shared so kindly. Is that something that, like, I could wear this bra with it underneath clothing when I'm going out in the evening? Oh,
Yes. Yes, that's the whole purpose. So the design is so slim. It's just a regular bra. There's no weighted aspect, neoprene, SBR, nothing padded in it. It's a bra with pockets that
I'm
have the weights in it, except it's underneath your chest. and they'll be, different sizes. So they'll be, from extra small to extra large. So it'll fit. And of course, from the fashion perspective, it'll be like, there's going to be lines there to make the fit and function. And yeah, it'll just be another weighted
That's
option.
awesome.
But it is one that you could wear every day underneath your clothes. No
This
one would
is
ever know.
fantastic. I'm excited. Like before we started the conversation, and now it just went up. So let's just look that we had a question here. Go
Jill
ahead.
Caperton has a question. She says she's carrying about 30 extra pounds. Could a weighted vest help her?
Oh gosh, absolutely. So, I kind of said this before, but what basically happens is when you add the weight to your body. So, say you're wearing this 15-pound vest. Now your body thinks it has the extra 45 pounds that's extra for your frame. So now it's going to, first of all, you burn more calories. The heavier you are as you walk, as you do exercises, you just burn more calories. That's just how your body works. And then it's going to build strength and bone density to protect that extra weight. So as you do that, burn the calories, weight loss, build the strength, weight loss. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you're going to burn naturally just sitting, waking up, doing your regular activities. So that's always the goal, is just building the strength on your body. And then while you're doing that, you're going to lose the fat. You're going to burn more calories.
And like we said before, I just can't say this enough. Just if this is new, make sure you check with your doctor. Because if you've never done it before, maybe you have something going on or you're recovering, like you just want to make sure that it's safe for you. That's all I just want to say about that. But I love that. Thank you for the question too. So what advice would you give to someone who feels intimidated by strength or resistance training? I know that I have some people, women, some elderly, much older than I am, that are like, they're intimidated by it. What would you say to them, if anything? I don't know.
What's really cool about the world that we live in is there is so much information, so many exercises, so many classes, so many ways that you can get fitness in. So my recommendation is just start with something that you like. Do you like walking? Do you like dancing? There's dance classes. There's weights that you can wear for your walks. Strength training, hopefully wherever you are strength training, there's coaches there, there's personal trainers, and they can help guide you, in selecting the right weight for you and making sure your posture is correct. So kind of guidance, ask around, see who can help you. There's usually a professional who's been in the game for a while who can kind of walk you through it and start you off. And my advice is just start doing what you love and get active and get outside.
And even if you wanted, you could take out all the weights or just leave like one weight, even in just the wrist, just to see how that feels. And that can sometimes be enough for someone, and then just slowly build. And so yes, I loved.
Yeah. And if you want to see like kind of so that's basically the wrist cuff, and then the weights come out super easy. You just pull the little flap. Yeah. And they're super easy to take out, super easy to take in. And for putting it back in, you just go underneath the flap and then cover it
up, and you're ready to go. I love it. Okay. So I know on your website, which is an amazing website with tons of wonderful information besides just all the products, you have a section of frequently asked questions. Can you share, if you remember, I don't know, some of the common questions or concerns with us? Like an example would be like, are the wrist cuffs, effective for the tumors in autism, which we already talked about, but just that was something that I was like, wow. Is there anything that's common that you can share? And also go and check out her FAQ, because there's like that one that I was like, I didn't even know about that. So.
Well, I didn't know about it either from the start. I just came out with a line of products. And then as there were more and more people who tried out the products, they were telling me all these things. So it was more of like, I didn't know it from the beginning. Even a personal trainer, fitness instructor, expert for 25 plus years, there's all these things that have come forth from this company that are so cool, including, people with the tremors diagnosis and osteoporosis and osteopenia. And, the frequently asked questions are basically just, is it good for it? And, again, go back to your doctor and talk to them about it, because it might not be good for you. It might not be good for your spine. It might not be good for your joints. It all depends on your body and how it's functioning. But for most people, it's beneficial in building muscle and bone
Yeah, I
density.
love that. Thank you. And then another thing that I'd like to just bring attention to is also, I noticed that on your website, you even have some like how-to little quick videos that help.
Yeah.
If you're new to, yeah.
They're just quick exercises to kind of show you, a way to use the products. And the crazy thing is, my God, they could be used for anything. Like the wrist cuffs in a Pilates class or a yoga class. Oh my God, while you're holding like, a one-legged warrior, to have 2 pounds on your leg while you're holding it, is a dramatic difference. So just adding it to different things that you're already doing makes a huge improvement. And you sweat a lot more.
Yes.
Because again, you're burning all those extra calories and building on the muscle. So yeah, all of it, all the fun, like, the cardio kickboxing classes with the wrist cuffs. And then, oh my God, strength training with this guy, doing squats and pull-ups and push-ups. Whew, what a
Yeah.
workout. The 15 pounds is even hard for me to
What
do
about
things like
like
that.
planking, right? That's a good one.
Oh God, planking. Yes, you're gonna have to cut your planking out. But yes, yeah, it is. It's amazing. The belt for all of like the plank work and anything that you're doing, toe taps and things like that when you're in low planks, high planks, with your knees raised in a bear. That weighted belt is incredible. It also forces you to kind of contract your core because you're wearing it, because it pulls you down for a second. And then you're like, oh no, I got to get my posture in before you complete that workout. So it does, it engages your core, and then you're doing your regular exercise. And now you just have a lot harder of an
Yeah, and
exercise.
I wanted to bring that awareness about some of the features that you have on your website, because it is a place to order this fantastic, all these different products. But I love that you go beyond that, right? By sharing, the frequently asked questions. You share about the videos. They're short little videos, but there's something to be said about seeing an example instead of just reading it, especially if this is new to you. And so I just want people to, like,
Yeah.
if you go to the site, which I think you should, even if you are just going to think about it for a little bit, go, check out some of her different tabs, and you might learn something. I certainly did. And I thought that was really, really great. So I just want to thank you. And, you mentioned some of the things that you can use it, the vest for, or these products for. You talked about walking, but hiking and, just,
Oh God,
yeah,
hiking. Yes.
anything. It cannot hurt as long as it's safe, right? And that you're
Yeah.
doing the weight that's right for you, I believe.
Right.
When I first tried
Yes.
your vest on, I immediately knew that. I'm like, wow, I mean, this feels heavy. And then it's like, well, yeah, because it's 5 pounds heavier than I was used to.
Heavier.
So it's like, okay, I will take those 5 pounds out and start where I am, because I can always increase.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh yeah, this feels good for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I love that you have the adjustable weights, both for women and men. And can you just talk about for a minute about like that it's washable?
Yeah, so that's kind of the best part too. Once it comes out of the box, it has to kind of like breathe a little bit, because it comes kind of straight from the manufacturer into the box. And then once it, you go take it for a couple spins, you get sweaty, and then as soon as you are like, all right, it's time to get this thing washed, because other vests you can't. Other vests you just leave outside, they air out, and that's about the best that you got, right? You can maybe do a little bit of soap on the outside. But yeah, so this vest is completely washable. You remove all the weights out of it. You close the straps, because the straps will if the sharp Velcro is open, it'll snag on things. But if it's completely closed, then it's totally fine. And then throw it in the washing machine on a fragile, like gentle cycle. And then that's it. Air dry it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And even like, okay, I'll tell you, I was wearing it and I was eating and it dribbled down and I'm like, oh no. And so I could even spot clean it when I was wearing it and it just it wiped right off. But I was like, okay. So,
but it is designed to make you sweat. Like it's going to bring your heart rate up. I'm sweating and I'm just standing.
Yeah.
there.
And so you're located in what state?
Orlando,
in Florida. Okay, so there's a lot more moisture there than there is here in Arizona. And I noticed that when I'm outdoors, because the heat is up over here for us, it's in the 115.
Oh,
and I'm like,
oh my God.
It's like I'm walking at night and had the vest on a couple of times, and I'm like, wow, I can really feel that I'm sweating more than, when I obviously don't have one on, or I have some of the different ones. And I really like that. So are there any last, looks like we do have a question. Here we go. Jill says, how much does the vest weigh without the weights? We did mention this, but let's say it again.
That's a great question. It is a pound. It's about a pound. So each weight is a little teeny bit over a half a pound. Those are the little guys. Yep. So that's half a pound. And then the vest alone with no weights is a pound.
So you've got a pound just empty, which is a great starting point. It truly, truly is. It doesn't seem like it, but it really is. And then, like she said, you can start putting in these weights that are just slightly over half a pound. And then with these empty, do you know how much? I know I weighed it before, but I don't remember. Do you remember?
I'm not sure how much. I want to say 0.6 like 6 ounces. 6 ounces. So 16 ounces at a pound, like a little under a fourth of a pound.
Okay, so that's empty. And then these are what did you say, a quarter of a pound?
A fifth of a pound.
So, it's a great place to start. And then, of course, the belt is the same as the vest. And hopefully that will help you with any questions you have. And so we mentioned it earlier. I just want to mention it again. Maya has been so generous to offer a fantastic discount for our viewers. And you can get the link here or in the show notes afterwards, and go to W8Fit.com, and then you can put our discount code that she offered us for 10% off, not just one item, but the whole order, you guys. And that discount code is Diamond15. And I just really appreciate that. I was really excited to be able to offer that to people. So the prices are great just without the discount, and this just makes it that much better. And I also would like to just ask you to share about your return policy, or if someone has a problem, like, sometimes that makes me a little nervous, like, what's the return policy, right? And so if you could just share how you handle any problems with people, that'd be great.
You know what? We have a really flexible kind of return policy because what basically happens is people will think they're especially with the belt. A lot of the belts. So someone will order an 8-pound belt and then be like, oh no, I just need it a little bit smaller. So they'll need the 7-pound belt. So we basically will just, if you're doing an exchange, we will pay for your return to bring it back, and then we'll ship you out the next size. So the exchange is super easy, because that happens a lot. Like people order the 10-pound extra large because they want the 10 pounds. They're like, oh, but I'm a small. I'm like, no problem. We'll figure it out and get you the 10 pounds that you want. You just have to double the weights up. So it's super easy. Same thing with the vest. If you get it and the fit's not right, or something goes wrong, we're happy to refund, exchange. Just really, it's a small business over here. So I'm just here to bring out products that hopefully everybody loves. But if for any reason you need to exchange it, return it, we're happy to do that for you too. We know things don't always work out.
I love that. And you cover the shipping. Oh my gosh, that's something I never hear for a problem where you said for
For
exchanges.
exchanges.
That's
Yes, for
amazing.
exchanges.
So everyone, thank you so much. We did have someone just come on. Marley, she says better late than missing it. Well, yes, and I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you'll consider watching the replay so you can see all this wonderful information that Maya from W8Fit shared with us today. And anything else, any last minute things that you'd like to bring up that we didn't touch on? I'd like to offer that opportunity for you.
Oh God.
It's fine if you don't have anything. I just want to make sure that if there is anything that you have a chance to, to have that.
Just know that I'm always here. So if you email info@weightfit.com, it's going to be me responding. I'm here to help in anything. You need some advice on starting your workout, I can help you there too. So just know I'm an open book and I'm always here. And as soon as I get a chance to respond, I definitely
love that.
will.
I love that. And so I'm also looking forward to your new creations. And I just want to take a moment to thank.
That might take 4 years based
Oh,
on
that's okay. That's okay. It's worth the wait.
No, we're good. We're good. Maybe a year out. I think that one's by the end of next year. That one will be.
That all sounds great. Well, I just want to thank you so much, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And this has been really wonderful to share these products. I am really enjoying them, and I like to share things when I believe in the product. Because there's a lot of stuff out there, and this is, I think, really helpful to let people know not only is it a great product, but a small business and somebody that cares, a real family member, you have your own family and so on. And so just remember, you guys, while you're, getting fit, always remember, don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance. Please give plants a chance. And until next time, you guys, take care, and we will see you. Bye-bye.